Oh man, what's up, Dragon Brood? Okay, so up front, I am apologizing if my energy's not there. I had a wild, crazy day today. Lots of physical stuff. Things just didn't go right. I had a lot of like chasing my tail around today, as I like to call it. But I got to a good finish later on. But, you know, a little worn down. But I wanted to just preface that if I'm not my usual self, there's a reason for that. But what that led to is, you know what? Sometimes when you're having those types of days, you gotta treat yourself. You know, self help, self healing. You know, you gotta really take care of yourself. So to that end, when it comes to Magic, and I feel like that means I'm gonna fire up some Gruul decks. One of my favorite decks to play, different varieties, not necessarily always aggro beatdown Gruul, but hey, you know, if that's what we got, that's what we got. And as it turns out, I actually have 3 different Gruul decks that I've been sitting on that I haven't really put on the channel yet this season. And I figured, why not? Let's play one today. So today we're going to be playing the MAGDA GRUUL, and this is kind of a version that's been going around. I believe it was Raphael Levy, the pro player, that actually popularized this a couple weeks ago. He kind of got on a run in Mythic and really went for it, and people went like, wait, if it's good enough for him, let me try it. And turns out the deck's actually pretty damn good. And what's funny is, I have to admit, the first few times I played it, it just wasn't clicking for some reason. I don't know if I got bad draws or weird matchups, but then it feels like after that, I fired up the stream and all of a sudden we just started rattling wins off one after another. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just had to, I don't know, maybe it was just mentally I wasn't in the right place. I had to shake some rust off. I don't know. But the deck's cool, so let's go take a look at it. Okay, so this deck does still do some of the adventure things that the Gruul decks like doing, but it has a few different elements here if you haven't seen this deck before. So we have 4 Edgewall Innkeeper, not a surprise, you play adventure things, you draw a card. Jaspera Sentinel, and this is, you know, here's a funny thing. Like, I remember I was early on in the set trying to explain to people when Kaldheim came out that this was actually one of the better cards in the set, and really it surprised me. And people are like, really? You think so? I'm like, man, for 1 mana, you get a 1/2, so you get a 2 toughness. You can block other 1-drops. Like, you can tap and make mana, so it's almost like a mana creature. And then it actually has reach, which randomly is important in a lot of matchups. Hell, especially right now, in a world full of, like, elite spellbinders that are 3/1s, this is actually not a bad card to have. So it actually works out. And one other thing, too, is when you're building different types of budget decks, I would even say, Jaspera Sentinel is a really good card when you're in green, especially if you're trying to do 2-color or 3-color decks. This can really help out a lot. So definitely a card to consider there. Now we're playing Magda Brazen Outlaw. Now the one thing I will say is it is unfortunate that we're playing 4 Magda, because you don't really want to ever draw the second one, but yeah, you know, you want to draw it. Whenever you tap Magda or you tap another dwarf, you get treasure. If you get 5 treasure, then you can sacrifice it all to go get an equipment or get a dragon. Well, this deck has both equipment and dragons. Go figure. So, not a bad thing to have when you have Magda. We also have Rimrock Knight, which happens to be a dwarf. So occasionally, you're going to get to attack with this and generate treasure. In addition to being an adventure card that helps out Edgewall Innkeeper, and just being able to make your creatures bigger to take down creatures up the curve. So lots of cool stuff going on here. This is the deck, if there were ever a place to have a Rimrock Knight, this is the spot you want it in. Then, of course, Bonecrusher Giant. We all know Bonecrusher Giant is good. Nothing really to say there. Lovestruck Beast. We all know that. Asika's Chariot, or Eska's Chariot. I don't know. Depends on where you're from, how you pronounce that. Some of us just call it the Cat Car. Others prefer to call it the Cadillac. Take your pick. I'm a big fan of Cat Car. So you play this for 4 mana. It's a 4/4. Makes 2 2/2 green cats. And then you can crew it. When you attack with it, you actually get to copy a token that's your side of the board. The biggest tokens you're going to have are the cats. We don't really have much else to make tokens other than Lovestruck Beast making a 1/1. Occasionally you'll have to copy the 1/1, but not often. What I like about this card, though, is it does give you options of sometimes if you need to attack with more attackers or block with more blockers, or just have a bigger attacker or blocker, you can go both ways with it. Also, when you're talking about trying to generate extra treasure or whatever, you can tap Magna to this just as well as you can tap like Magda to the Jaspera Sentinel, things like that. So you have a lot of ways you can get Magda tapped without actually putting her at risk in combat. And this is another way to do it. Then Goldspan Dragon also generates treasure. So this alongside Magda can very well get you to that 5 and let you go find like Embercleaves, Dragons, whatever, very easily. Playing 4 of these, just a damn good card. They're playing 1 Terror of the Peaks. This is probably the one card I have considered that I would like to have another one in this list, but I'm not really sure what I would cut for that card. Everything else is really good, so maybe this list only gets to have 1. In the future, I could see myself trying to squeeze a second one in, but we'll see. 3 Embercleave. We all know Embercleave's good. 2 Great Henge. We know the Great Henge is good. We're not really learning anything there. As for the lands, we're playing at 3 Shatter Skull Smashing, 5 Mountain, 9 Forest, 4 Crag Crown Pathway, 1 Fabled Passage, and this is the land I think is going to catch everybody off guard, but Hall of Oracles. I know a lot of people look and say like, do you really want a colorless land hanging out in your stuff? But if you think about it, in a lot of situations, if you can get a red or a green down, that's all you really need to function. Like, yes, you do have a lot of stuff that's like double red, but you can generate extra treasure from Magda, you can get extra mana from Jaspera Sentinel, you get extra treasure from the dragon. Well, you need 2 red to get the dragon first. But you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of places where the mana is coming from that it actually ends up not being that bad. Plus, the extra counter really does matter. And when you're talking about things like all your adventure cards, all count as playing an instant or a sorcery. The only downside I have on Hall of Oracles, and I really was wondering this while we were playing, is like, why does it have to be activated as a sorcery? You're already having to do another action to even get the +1/+1. But outside of that, it's kind of a sweet card. I have to admit, I got to give Raphael Levy credit here because it's the type of card I like, but for whatever reason, I don't know if I would have considered putting it into this type of Gruul deck, but it actually really does work. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would, but it really does. So yeah. That's it. That's the deck. Like I said, everybody's kind of played it at this point and showcased it a little bit. But I want to give my go around. So strap yourselves in. There's some cool games and some cool finishes upcoming. And don't forget, on the other side of the games, we do have a little bit of wrap up and strategy. And we have a card spotlight even that we do after every one of our gameplay videos that maybe you might learn a little something that could help you out. Mulliganing a forest in this hand to start is probably not good, y'all. This is definitely a case of do as I say, not as I do. Because that feels very much like a gamble. Alright, Speaker of the Heavens. Okay, it worked. Never punished. Never punished. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Speaker. As much as I want to have that Lovestruck Beast later, I also don't want to be dealing with this once it's bigger than like, I don't want to get into a situation where they're able to protect it. Because if they do have, like, apparitions and creature kill card... Oh, so this is actually... Ooh, that could have been bad. We might have gotten lucky there. Okay, let's go with this. Followed by this. You know what? If they're going to kill something, I'll encourage them to kill the 1/1. Okay, well, I was hoping that was going to be a land. That didn't really work out too well. But we put ourselves 1 card closer. That's what we did. We were setting up the anticipation of another land. Oh, well, we're going to have a hard time casting one of these dragons. That's for sure. Alright. Come on, big money. Is this where we're going to get punished for not having that forest? Eh, kinda. Not really, but sort of. So this is weird. We can still cast this. All right, let's attack first with just this. I mean, I doubt they're gonna double block. They're at enough life that they don't have to care. All right, and this is probably the wrong decision, but because I'm greedy. Let's tap this. Tap this. Play this. Hopefully get a land off of this. Man. Okay. Well. Serves me right. I mean, I still have access to 5 mana next turn. Because we can tap Magda, use the treasure. You know, that whole thing. Alright. So now they're in fighting shape. If they want to be. Okay then. I guess we're going to do like we were talking about. Tap Magda. play dragon. And we're going to attack with this, and this. Because, you know, targeting our old thing's legit. I have no problem with that. They're not about it. They don't want to hear that. Okay, that's fair. Let's see. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, 7, 8. If we just play Jaspara Sentinel, we have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, but they could kill our dragon. But if they kill our dragon, we get one anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna be greedy here. I'm not gonna be greedy. I know what's good for us. Especially with us also having like Rimrock Knight. Like, we should have this. Though they could play another like oh, okay. That's a thing. It means they're not likely playing a creature here unless they just have the black 1/1 that gains life, that whole thing. Alright. Well, looks like we're gonna be trading a Lovestruck Beast for that. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so we have plenty of mana here. Question is, do we even tap Magda? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we actually tap Magda here. I think we tap this. And we just cast this. And if the opponent wants to eat a Magda, so be it. I was going to say, if they don't block, I was going to say, that was going to be real bad for them. 4, 5, 6. Well, now we just target our dragon, right? And just say, don't care. If you got something, you got something. Okay, they didn't have it. Cool. Like, I really want to try. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. This is bad. But I gotta try. I feel like I gotta know. Like, curiosity. Okay, that's not helping. It's not helping. So we're going to do this first. In the event they do have something to kill a creature, we don't lose the Magda immediately, because we do need the mana from Magda. That is real. Okay, we get to keep Magda. Or at least, maybe. They could have a shock or something here. Okay, alright. Let's do it then. This is something. Apparition just had to show up and ruin our fun. Oh, whoa, you're not getting rid of the Magda. That kind of stunned me. I'm not gonna lie. Crap. I don't even know what... I guess... I don't even know what to cast here. I mean, I guess we cast Goldspan. Well, I sort of want to cast Terror of the Peaks. What would that deck have? If you're playing Winota, unless you're playing, I guess... I'm trying to think what they didn't... I mean, unless they have Giant Killer. But they were going to take 3 anyway, so I guess we're okay with that. We attack. They don't have anything. We get a treasure. We could cast Great Hinge next turn and play our... Yeah, I don't know. Sure. I'll trade Magda at this point. Like, I'll take a 2/2 and deal 2 damage. Do we do this? No, because we may want to Goldspan Dragon next turn. If things don't go our way, like if our Terror dies, we might need to Goldspan Dragon up. Well, we won't be casting a Great Hinge. That is for sure. Oh, nope. They said, go ahead. You can have a Great Hinge. I'm glad they feel that way. Nothing for you there, Mr. Elite Spellbinder. Coming at the face. Getting in there for 7. Alright. I don't know what they're going to have, but we can cast a dragon, so that's lethal no matter what. I considered coming back to elves. If somebody has a good elf deck... Ooh, this is an easy mulligan. Oh, this would have been so close. If anything here was a forest, I would have kept this in a heartbeat. Alright, we're keeping this, but it's not nearly as happy as you would like it to be. Yeah, if anybody has a good standard list for elves, I would be interested. Just to save me some trouble. Yeah, that's exactly the problem, One True Durable, though. Like, those decks aren't even winning. That's my point, though. Whoever's building that, you're just spinning your wheels. You're not even leveling up by winning. Because that deck's not even a 51% deck. That's what I'm saying. And, it has its own built-in fail cases, right? Because it just doesn't draw what it needs to or whatever. And, you hit another zero-cost thing or whatever and just dies, right? That's a thing it does. But then you also have the issue of when your opponent's active, and again, even just has a duress or an agonizing remorse or any of the 2-mana counters that counter things, like, you just die. I don't even think it's for the dailies. I don't think the people building it are concerned about it for the dailies. Because again, you're not even casting enough spells to hit your dailies. Right? Like, even there, you cast a colorless spell, then you cast a red spell, and then the game was over. So even if you're doing it for dailies, you're not going to get nearly enough in. But even daily wins, that's not guaranteed. That's what I'm saying. Like, I failed to see where that is even getting you that. What do we do here? I feel like here we just kind of attack with Magda and see if the opponent bites. Maybe they do. I mean, I'm mostly hoping they just have fewer triggers for their Winota. That's all I'm really worried about here. Can get you through games, yes. Get you through wins, a different story. Alright, we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna cast this. And end the turn. I mean, I'll let y'all believe it if you want to. That's not even a stance I'm willing to argue. Like, that's not a hill I'm willing to die on. If y'all want to hold on to that, go for it. Like, I don't see the benefits of it still. Why are we even attacking here? You really want to put that in the yard? Sure, I guess. Okay. Not really sure what that was about from the opponent. Unfortunately, I can't attack with 2 things here and cast this Embercleave. And I don't really want to put that Magda at risk with the opponent having 1 thing. I have to remove 3 other cards. So you'll get this back as a 4/2. Do I care that they will have a 4/2? I think, sadly, we just have to play this. And then just pass. You don't even need Spell Pierce. They have the other one right now that counters an instant or a sorcery for 1. Miscast. Like, I've used that index and beat them. And people have been playing Miscast just because they're worried about stuff like ultimatums and whatnot. Alright, Selfless Savior is going to be a problem. Alright. This could be bad. Alright, I'm not sure how we're going to win from here without getting a flyer of our own. Oh, man. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I guess we're just hoping to get a dragon. I think is all we're hoping for here. Because I'm not sure... You are not a dragon. However, you do allow us to attack, and that is very big here. That is the time we needed to see you. Alright, so I attack with this, this. Alright. I was just kind of thinking about, like, if we Ember Cleave, can we do anything else? But the answer is yes. Okay. Now, how much damage do you want to try to get in? Because if we use the... Put it on Magda, we won't get to kill the Blade Historian. And we'll only get... That'll be 6 minus 3. So we only get 3 in there. So that'd be 5, 9, 12. Actually, it's... Well, they're going to sacrifice the Selfless Savior anyway. So let's do this. Yeah, we'll auto-pay. Because in this way, we want the Selfless Savior dead, because if they do get a Winota, they only have one non-human on the table. Assuming they're playing Winota. They may not be. But this also guarantees way more damage. So now we get... I'm assuming they could just let the Selfless Savior die, which is smart. And we'll get 9, we'll get 14 in here, as opposed to 12. Well, never mind. Then we get 15 in. That works out great. Now we just have to hope they don't have something to kill a 1/1. If they do, we're dead. Okay, Winota doesn't get us killed here. We're at 16. That is not going to do it. We win. Oh, and they missed on their trigger. Great. First, we keep this? It's against Yorion. Alright, I'll gamble. What's the worst that can happen? Famous last words, but you know. Double Ember Cleave's basically like mulliganing anyway. See, like, do I... No, I need to have another card. As much as I want to just get some treasure from Magda. Yeah. I assume they'll kill our Edgewall Innkeeper here, if they're able to. Oh, I guess they were not able to. Alright, so let's assume they can Extinction Event next turn. Are we okay with them Extinction Event for 2? Because then next turn we would be able to play Edgewall Innkeeper and Bonecrusher Giant. Granted, then if they just have back-to-back, like, Extinction Event or Shadow's Verdict, then, like, we just eat it. There's not a lot we can do there. Alright. Let's go for it. And we might just try to Ember Cleave next turn. Because we could do, what's that, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's actually Xaxes. They're going to probably Elspeth's Nightmare and kill Magda, though, right? No. Oh, we just get to Xaxes them? What? No. I mean, I guess so, right? It doesn't even have to be Xaxes, really, though, because we have Bonecrusher Giant, too. Alright, I guess that's it. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like it's designed for the Soul type matchup. Aggro decks can feel like you get lucked out sometimes. Because when you play them, you struggle, right? It's a lot of math to figure out and things going on. So when you lose, sometimes it feels worse than it actually is. It's just your opponent played well sometimes. Alright, I'll see the Life's Bounty. Well, we are going to... I was going to attack, but now I kind of want to leave mana open for Bonecrusher Giant. So I'm just going to do this. Because 1 point isn't all that big a deal. And if they play something that costs 2, we could shoot it down with Bonecrusher. Or if we have to, we can just shoot the Alseed, I guess. if it matters. Depending on what they put on the stack. That's tough, because that's going to be 3 toughness. So we do have a choice here, actually. We can shoot the Alseid, and then we could just Shatter Skull Smashing Daxos next turn, which is kind of poopy, but I think it's correct. Just keep the opponent off stuff, since we know we have dragons coming soon. And they get less life this way. So we'll just do this for 2. I'm gonna just shoot that. Alright, so now if they do have something like Heliod or whatever, they don't really have anything going on. If we draw a land, we could play Goldspan Dragon, then a Rimrock Knight. Ugh, another Daxos, huh? Fair enough, opponent. Fair enough. We're gonna pay all of it. And we're gonna attack. I don't think I want to Rimrock Knight here. Mostly because there's a good chance Daxos is going to be too big and just block the Rimrock Knight anyway. But we'll see. Hey, thanks for following, by the way. Lots of y'all coming through tonight. Oh, my goodness. All right, that's going to be a problem. That's going to hurt. We don't have a real good answer to that. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. We can put a counter on something. Oh, but we can only activate it as a sorcery. Gosh dang it. Why? Why? Why do these cards have these silly restrictions? Why does this have to only be activated as a sorcery? And it's on a rare. Why? There's no reason. Okay. Let's... I mean, I guess we have to, right? It's the only way this thing doesn't wreck our world. Put a counter. Put a counter. Attack. Then I guess we just start rolling some duders out there? Like, what else are we gonna do? All right. No, I think it'd be fine if it was instant speed. I don't think that would be that bad. Yeah, that Alseid's going to be a pain in our rear for sure. Because now we have to get 2 things big enough to... Or we just got to get an Embercleave. That is not going to do it. So, I mean, we can attack with the Goldspan Dragon. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, do we care? I mean, just generating more treasure here doesn't really do anything. Well, that's not true. Generating treasure, now that we have a Magda, actually could get us another dragon. So that could matter. I mean, yes, they gain a life and they do this whole thing, but like, we don't really have a choice. We're kind of stuck here. Kind of surprised the opponent didn't just sack the Alseid anyway, but I get it. Maybe try to protect the Lurrus in case we have another stomp. Alright, in the turn, we can generate a treasure with Magda. We can generate another one with Magda next turn. We can attack with Goldspan Dragon. We can go search for another Goldspan Dragon. It doesn't really do anything, because the opponent can still block with the same things they have. Alright, we'll go ahead and tap Magda for treasure. So that takes away that plan, unfortunately. But it is a thing that matters. Alright, there's a Heliod. Yep. And this is where we lose. I mean, because now even an Embercleave's not good enough. I was going to say, the best thing we could have gotten is maybe something to kill Lurrus, force the opponent to sack something. And then I don't even know after that. Pretty sure we're just dead, though. Yeah, that's a bit too late, unfortunately. That is not going to cut it. What do we do with this? Because, I mean, because we're incentivized to play it and put counters on things, but then... What does that even do? Because they're just going to gain life. They're going to replay the Alseeds. So they're going to gain 2. Because they have no reason not to once they know our hand's empty. Hey, Absurd Heroine, welcome. This is a bad situation, y'all. I think all we can do is this. Is just shoot the opponent. I think we attack with the dragon. Since the dragon's still a 6/6, it doesn't really care about Daxos. Though if we were to have found an Embercleave here, it could have still mattered. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and put... How do I want to spend my mana here? Because we kind of want to play this. Alright, let's get red. Because this isn't blocking, obviously. Then we'll sack one of these. Play this. And then we'll just turn one of our giants bigger, I guess. Or maybe we split it and make 2 of them bigger. Nah, we just want to outsize Luris, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I know it can get around it, but like we don't have anything to even force it to be an issue is the problem. And sadly, the way things are set up, we're better off trying to punch something through with an Embercleave than we are trying to trick them into a stomp situation. Okay. The Rimrock Knight almost matters. Not quite, but almost. Target the dragon. Not that it matters too much. And then I guess we'll... I mean, I can pump the dragon, but pumping the dragon just doesn't do anything, honestly. Like, Daxos isn't going to be bigger than 4 power anytime soon until they start sacrificing their Alseed, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't yet. We'll see if they get smart and decide to do it. I mean, the only good news is now, if we do get Magda... There you go. I was wondering when you were going to do that, opponent. Jeez. But these are the type of things I'm saying. Like, I don't think this deck is good for this type of matchup. So I think if you're seeing a lot of mono white, like, the MAGDA GRUUL deck is not good for that. I think if you're seeing a bunch of, like, ultimatum, then it is. That's at least the way it feels. Because I don't see any way we're winning this. Like, literally 0. Yeah, I'm just going to save us time. Like, we have no outs there, actually. This would have been nice. You know, if I could have got a Magda sooner in the game, that would have been cool. Problem is, once they got to a significant amount of life, that becomes kind of irrelevant. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Does our Jaspera Sentinel live? It does. However, that is not what we want to see, because every deck that plays that is not something we want to be playing against, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well. We would like to get to 4 mana next turn, so I think we're just gonna pass. And even then, I think we're just playing the Chariot, most likely. But I don't know. Like, yeah, it's not going to be worth it for us to tear. Oh, there's an apparition. Okay. Bye-bye, Magda. It was fun while it lasted. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we don't beat any white decks. Like, maybe that's a thing. Alright, well... I guess we have to put this on red, just in case. Now I'm kind of debating, do I just play Edgewall Innkeeper, then Rimrock Knight? But I think the Chariot's where we want to be. Actually, yeah, because we can play Edgewall Innkeeper anyway. Because we can tap one of these duders. Alright. Redeem a personal item story. Okay, sure, we'll get to a story here in a little bit. No, Cinderclasm wouldn't have been any good either that last game. Like, there was literally one turn where Cinderclasm would have been good. And actually, I wouldn't even say it'd been good. It would have just been okay. Okay, well now we have an opportunity to do things. The question just becomes, are we trying to Embercleave or are we trying to Terror of the Peaks? And because of the opponent's type of deck, I think we're trying to Embercleave and save the Terror for after they board wipe. I'm just trying to see if there's any way it makes sense for us to use this. We'd spend a red to do that. We could tap that, so it eats up 2 land. We'd have to tap this and this and this to Embercleave. So we'd have 3 mana, but we'd have to attack with... Yeah, we wouldn't have enough. Okay, well, then it looks like just cat car action it is. Oh, that's not true, because if I attack with the cat car, I get to copy that. So I generate another... Oh, wait a minute, hold on. So if we use Rimrock Knight, that's 1. We put a counter on, I guess, Innkeeper. That's 2. And then we can tap the new cat and that. And that. There's still only 2 attackers, though. Never mind, had it right the first time. Okay. Attacking with just this. Copying this. Is this Embercleave time? I feel like it is. We'll autopay. We'll go ahead and tap this Innkeeper because we're not going to block with that. And we'll at least maximize our damage here that we're doing. And this feels a little bit better, because at least if the opponent sweeps the board here, maybe we can get a land, still attack with the cat car. Actually, we'll be able to anyway, because we'll get this back as a 2/2, and we can just turn it into a 4, no matter what. Actually, that's a pretty good turn, because we'd actually be able to get 10 damage in, because we'd have enough to equip the Embercleave anyway. They might just be about to get rid of the Embercleave here. Yep, so we lose that opportunity. However, they're leaving themselves largely shields down here. So we get to do, well, we get to do quite a lot. Yeah. Okay, then. Autopay. We're going to tap this Innkeeper. This Innkeeper's just out here making mana. That's all he's doing today. That's his job that he's bringing to the party. Actually, if we tap 2, we're attacking with 2 as opposed to 3. Losing 1. Yeah, I'm still good with that, though. Let's do it. And if they block with the 0/4, like, I guess this is where the board's about to get swept. So let's, well, if we honestly believe that, I should just save the Rimrock Knight. Right? So they're going to take just 4 here, go to 12. All right, I'm going to do it. Because, like, if they don't, then it doesn't really matter that the 0/4 is there. Like, it's really kind of irrelevant. I mean, the board itself is lethal if they do nothing else. In my experience, Frostbite, it really doesn't. You know, it only kind of does that It only really, Cinderclasm only really beats the white weenie decks if they don't get a decent draw. Like, the situation they had in that last game wouldn't have done anything for us. Yeah, sure, alright. But if they don't have something for Terror of the Peaks, we do have lethal here. Okay, there's a Spellbinder. Which does keep us from having lethal now, which is hilarious. Because we now have to find extra mana. Oh, actually, wait, I don't know. How does that work, actually? Because if we... Oh, well, I guess that's a thing, too. Okay, so... I'm kind of curious what happens. If we pay 3, do we get the other side for 2 again? I've never been in this situation. Like, if we... I feel like I should know this answer, and I don't. So, it makes sense that it goes down to 2. And if that's the case, then I should just use this first. And save the other one. Because there's no combination where I get to play this, kill that. I still only get 7 damage in no matter what I do. So yeah. Because I have to get the Spellbinder out of the way first. Alright. Terror's going to get in there for 7. This at least opens up more outs. Now Stomps are outs too. Stomps, Goldspan Dragons, any other creature alongside the Terror. We have a bunch of things. But we did discover how that works. Once you pay the tax, you don't have to keep paying tax on it. You're kidding. That's alright. We still have lethal though. But that was a good top deck by the opponent. Because now we can pay to make this one bigger, I guess. So now we have 2 5-power creatures. Once we kill their Spellbinder, then none of this is going to matter. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, okay, so I have to admit, I wasn't feeling this deck at first, but like I said, after we got those first couple of little bits off, and I fired up the stream, all of a sudden it was like the deck decided it was going to show out because it was on camera. So like, what can I say? The deck's actually good. And again, credit to Raphael Levy for putting that together, because I think it's a mix of cards other people may not have considered, but it's actually a pretty fun thing. So I do have 2 other GRUUL lists as well, so if y'all are interested, I have another one that's using a bunch of the double power, fling your stuff, some kind of crazy things, and I do have another combo-y version that I haven't played. So if y'all are interested in those, let me know. Hop in the Discord, come say hey, let me know you want to see it, and maybe we get those on camera here pretty soon. Like I said, the only thing I would change about this list, I may be trying to find a way to get a second Terror of the Peaks into the deck, but otherwise I don't think I want to touch too much. I think he actually did a damn good job with this one, and there's, even for my personal playstyle, I don't think there's much I would want to change. It actually works quite well. If you're looking for a different type of GRUUL deck, I highly recommend it. Now for today's card spotlight, we are going to talk about Cabal Coffers. And I bring this up because this is a card that I believe only has 2 printings. Technically 3, because I think there's a promo version. And I don't think a single version of this card is less than $100. Even the original, it's only an uncommon. And the other that came in one of the Plane Chase sets, I think. Like, this is crazy. This card is super good. I mean, there's so many mono black players in Commander, and so many mono black players for kitchen table stuff, especially when you start looking at people like playing zombies and vampires and stuff. Like, they're all wanting to play this card, and for good reason. It generates a ton of mana. It's fantastic. But man, $100 uncommon, that's wild. And especially when you compare it to other cards in those sets. But maybe you didn't know, if you have some in your boxes, go dig these up. You can probably trade these in. Trade in a couple of them, go scoop you a couple boxes of actual new sets if you don't want to spend any money. Or hey, as we get back to playing some cards here in our local game stores, it'd be a good way to outfit your new decks that you maybe didn't pick up cards for during the pandemic. Just saying. Also, don't forget, if you want this deck list, it will be down in the description below, as well as links to my Discord if you want to come by, say hi, get help with deck lists, or if you want to just come be part of our streams, both on Twitch and on Facebook. Also, don't forget, we have some merchandise at the Stream Elements link there, but also if you want some tokens or playmats, you can get those from my podcast link, which, by the way, I do have a podcast, colorofmtg.com/shop. You can get some special tokens, and I will even sign them by request before they go out to you, because they have my wonderful likeness as a warrior. One last thing I gotta ask. If you haven't, please like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because that really helps me out as we're trying to hit 12,000 subscribers and 1 million views on our YouTube channel. You can be a part of that. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.